Today, Baba is giving us the direction that we have to be a Karmyogi. Now, what is a Karmyogi? Karmyogi is a concept that we have heard about in the Gita scripture also. And then, mostly, what people interpreted by the word Karmyogi was work is worship. Yes, so people thought that there are people who leave their jobs, leave their families, and they go and surrender their lives to God. And there are others who stay in the world, stay in the family, go to work, and for them, work is worship. So they don't have to do anything else. But Baba says that's not Karmyogi. That's very body conscious. And Baba says you have to be a Karmyogi. And why? Because Baba says we are here so that we can settle our karmic accounts. Yes? Have you ever thought, why does Baba not say that leave everything and come to me and then just sit and remember me and absolve your sins? Because basically that was the practice before we came to Baba. But Baba never says this. Why? So there is a spiritual reason why. Because Baba says that whatever situations you are in, whichever souls you are with, they are there the way they are because of your own karmic settlement. So you have some karmic account to settle. And these conditions, situations, people around you, their sanskars, they are a manifestation of the remaining karmic account that is to be settled. Yes, so because there is a debit account, so all these things are there. And you have to settle it. You cannot run away from it. Because the law says, if you run away from your karma, the karma runs after you. You cannot run away from your karma. So that's why Baba says that I do not tell you that you leave the home and work and just go and live in isolation. Yes, if somebody doesn't have any responsibilities, doesn't have any bondages, then Baba says, yes, that means your karmic settlement is not so strong. So you just come and surrender your life. So that is also there. So Baba says, how do we settle the karmic accounts? The only method to settle them is to be a Karmyogi. And what is a Karmyogi? So Baba describes very beautifully that when you are not working, when you have got nothing to do, then just detach from the body and sit in the awareness that I am bodiless and remember me and burn your sins. Okay, so complete detachment from the body. Do you practice that? Yes, sit still and then just forget that the body or the physical world exists. It's just you, the being of light, and under the canopy of Shiv Baba, who is the ocean of light, ocean of love, ocean of purity. And when you do that, that is filling yourself with yoga power. Now you see in many Zoom also we have that, and there is a feature called blur. Have you seen? So you can just blur everything around you. So you have to mentally switch on that feature. So when you sit in bodiless state, then you just believe that everything around you is there, but it is in blurred state. And the only visibles are that which you see with the eye of the buddhi, the soul, and Baba. So you are only seeing that you are a soul and you are under the canopy of Baba's light and love. Other things are all blurred around you. So, this practice you have to do when you are free from work, okay? Or when you are sitting alone and there is not something which demands your urgent attention. And what do you do otherwise at other times when you are doing work, when you are, walking, talking? Then Baba says, be soul conscious, being the consciousness that I am the master doing everything through the body or making the organs work. So I, the soul, am using my hands and cutting vegetables. So, and I am sitting under the canopy of Baba's light and love. So I'm peacefully sitting and peacefully cutting the vegetables that I'm chopping with the knife. Yes, so Baba says, don't try to become bodiless when you are doing action. So let's say, somebody is a doctor and then they are performing an operation and then they are just trying to be bodiless at that time. No, you have to be fully aware of your body and how your hands are moving and what you're doing with the body. So that state of bodilessness need not be practiced when you are in the field of action. So I remember there was this one time when one very senior sister in the yagya, she was chopping pumpkin, and pumpkin is very difficult to chop because it is very hard. So you have to be very careful, because if you're not careful then you will chop off your hand. So that is you have to be very careful while chopping pumpkin. And then there was another sister there, and so she's a teacher, the senior sister. So this sister assumed that Didi would be thinking about some points of gyan, or it must be in some deep meditation while chopping the pumpkin. So then the sister asked, Didi, what were you thinking about when you were chopping the pumpkin? So Didi said, I was thinking about the pumpkin when I was chopping the pumpkin. Because if you don't do that, then you will cause damage. So Baba says, when you are using the body, when you're doing something through the body, you have to be aware of the body. Yes, you cannot be crossing a street and not be aware of the traffic light or the traffic that's coming towards you. You cannot be not aware of it. And that is not meditation. Sometimes children think that being lost is meditation. No, meditation is being fully aware. So you are fully aware, but you are completely uninfluenced. That is meditation. So when you are a Karmyogi, when you are a yogi in action, then what is your stage? Your stage is not lost in love of Baba. That is your stage when you're sitting in yoga with Baba, when you're free. But when you are on the field of action, what is your stage? Your stage is you are completely aware, your actions are accurate, but you are not under any influence. You are not emotional, you are in touch with your feelings. What is the difference between emotions and feelings? So we usually make a distinction that all the negative ones are emotions. So, whether it is anger or irritation or complaint or fear or hurt or jealousy or ego, they are emotions. But feelings are peace, purity, love, bliss, joy. So Baba says, when you are in action, you know that you are the master. You stabilize yourself in your state of peace, purity, love, and joy, and you are in remembrance of Baba. And from that stable state, you are fully aware and engaging in accurate action. So that is the stage you want to have when you are working, when you're using your body. Yes. So, and I think it's very important to understand that what is the form of a yogi, or what is the attitude of a yogi while you are at different points of time in the day, or while you are engaging in different activities. For example, let me give you one simple example. If you're playing a role, let's say you are the boss, so you have to understand that your job is to get the work done. So if you are in the name of soul, being soul conscious, you are not able to have your authority and get the work done. That means that you are not actually being soul conscious, you're being body conscious. Do you get that? So let's say I say everybody is a soul, everybody is a soul. So I can't get the work done, because in order to get the work done, I have to be impolite and I have to be rude. And I can't do that because I'm a soul and everybody is a soul. So the work can't get done. That means that you believe that work cannot be got done in peace and love and joy. So that is very body conscious of you. So Baba says you should have the ability to perform every role without, you know, without using any of your negative emotions. You should have the ability to be soul conscious and in remembrance of Baba, and perform every role, do every act. Yes, and I will tell you why I think this is completely possible. So let me give you one example. There was this one sister, and she was very slow. So, whenever she sweeps the floor, she's very slow. She washes dishes very slow. So then once I told her, why don't you just, make a little faster, do everything a little faster. Try that. Can you do it? So just try. So then what she did was, in her mind, she's going very fast, but the hands are moving at the same speed. So, and that was very interesting to watch, because you could see that, that she's getting anxious inside, and but the hands are not moving faster, only the mind is moving faster. And then I saw that, and then I said, no, it's okay, you relax, and it's fine, you can be at your own speed, and that's okay. So you see, you can, if somebody gives you an instruction, because this is coming out of habit, right? So because of the habit, you are using your hands in the same manner, but because you've been given an instruction, you can just shift your state within. So Baba also says that you perform the same roles, you do the same thing, but just shift your stage within. So just be in that awareness that I'm a peaceful, loveful being of light, and I'm in Baba's remembrance. And in that state of peace, I am getting the work done. And peace and speed are not related. Yes, just like somebody can have the same slow speed and be very anxious inside. So do you think that people who are in stress and anxiety, they work faster? No. Their mind works faster. Their hands don't work faster. So there are many people who think that when I am working or I'm doing something, if I'm body conscious, I will be working faster. But that's not true. If you are in consciousness of the work, then you will not work faster. If you're soul conscious and in remembrance of Baba, and you are doing the work through the body in a state of peace and knowledge and love and purity, then you will make better work done through the hands. Do you agree with that or no? Yes. So, because the plea that mostly people give for stress is that I work faster under stress. But that's not true, because you are not working faster, you are spending more energy. That's why when people are stressed, they have a burnout. So if you're walking and if you're running, different amounts of energies are spent. So being in stress is like running, and you can't run all the time. So you may run and you may gather more distance, cover more distance in a shorter time, but then you will need more rest after that. So that is why Baba says that just be a Karmyogi, be very centered, be knowledgeful, peaceful, loveful, pure in remembrance of Baba, and then do the work through your hands. And while doing the work through your hands, you have to be fully aware of what the work is about, accurate thinking should be there. And in my opinion and my experience, every work requires a lot of thinking. I mean, there are so many decisions involved in every little work. Let me give you a simple example. Even if you have to hang clothes to dry, you have to know which clothes to hang where, where there's more sunlight, where there's less sunlight, which are thicker, which are thinner. And you need to have, you need to use your intellect. And if you don't use your intellect, you cannot accomplish anything. No work can be done. And Baba says, Karma Yogi doesn't mean you are letting your intellect and mind sit in the soul world and your hands are working here without any awareness. That's not a Karma Yogi. So when you're working, you have to work accurately. When you're engaging in behavior, in interaction, you're playing a role, there has to be accuracy in it. Yes, if you are playing the role of a parent, you have to be an accurate parent. Yes, you have soul consciousness, but when you're playing a role, it's not like, you let your awareness of the role slip away because you are not understanding soul consciousness properly. Yes, for example, if the child is being rude, then you have to stop the child and tell them that this is not the way to behave. You tell that in peace. You are not angry about it. But that doesn't mean you don't point that out and you are not in authority. Yes, so that confusion shouldn't be there. So because many children, they don't understand that, they always take soul consciousness wrongly. And then what happens is, while they are working or while they are playing roles, their false idea of soul consciousness interferes in their working or playing a role, and they make bad decisions and they think that this is soul conscious. I'll give you one example. There was this one mata, and her husband used to, be very inappropriate about money. So he used to even ask the daughter for money, and he used to snatch money from the daughter and take it. And these things also happened. And then this mata, she let everything slide by. And then once she shared, and then I asked, why are you not putting your foot down for this? So then she said, no, you see, Baba says that there should be an environment of peace at home. So that's why I'm not saying anything. So I said, this is how you establish peace? This is not how you establish peace. Because peace is a very long term thing. And if you are not taking proper decisions, you may think that you are establishing peace, but you will pay the price of it tomorrow. So if this person tomorrow starts beating up your daughter, then what? You keep quiet because that's also establishing peace? No. So Baba says, you do, even when it comes to, when you have to protect or conserve or set boundaries, you have to do that. The only thing is, you are soul conscious, so you know that there is no need to be upset and agitated about it. So you are stable inside, you are in Baba's remembrance, but you have to set boundaries. You have to say no where you have to say no, and you have to, even when it comes to protecting somebody, or if you have a child, if you are in the role of a protector also, you have to protect that child. But don't, we just don't cross our line of maryada. We will not go to shouting, or abusing or beating somebody. But yes, we can be very firm. And I think if you are very clear inside and very firm outside, there is no better way to say no and discourage somebody. I don't think people are discouraged if you shout at them or beat them. They are discouraged when you are very clear inside that I will not tolerate this, and you're very firm outside. So that is a very clear indicator, and you can set your boundaries like that. So Baba talks about being a Karmyogi, and we have to understand this being a Karmyogi very well. And the other point, the other side of being a Karmyogi, being completely bodiless when there is nothing to attend to. Yes, these days people are just on the phone when they are free. But Baba says no. A Karma Yogi, whenever you are free from action, there's nothing that is demanding your urgent attention, then you just forget the body and the physical world and just be lost in Baba's love and remembrance. And that is going to recharge you. And then when you are coming into role, then you will be able to maintain that charge and do everything accurately. So this is something. And then today, Baba says that when we go to Madhuban, or we go anywhere with the purpose of studying, then we should not take children with us. Yes, so Baba says that, there are many, whenever you have to go to Madhuban, then, brothers and sisters, they put in the request that my child is little and I want to take that child with me. Yes, so Baba says if the child is a little bigger, so 12 years and above maybe, then you take them, they will also understand something. But if you take a very little child with you, then first thing is, what purpose are you going with? You are going to, be in knowledge and yoga, and then that child will constantly be distracting you, or needing your presence. Then you cannot be in yoga and understand knowledge in that state. So the purpose of going to class, whether it is in a center or to Madhuban, to Mount Abu, and you must all make it a point to visit Baba's home in Mount Abu and in Delhi, where you are taking sustenance from. So whenever you come, so at least in the class, of course you can bring children and all, but at least in the class, you must make this point that the children are not there in the class. Because when you take children with you, then first is they will be distracting you, and second thing is, when there is an atmosphere of silence, and then that atmosphere of silence is intervened by a child's cries, or that child is running around or something, do you think that child is getting good wishes at that time? No, because you see, that's not a good idea, because whenever there is an atmosphere, it has to be respected. And when you don't respect that, then anybody who becomes an instrument is not getting good wishes. Although, nobody would like to give bad wishes to a child, but then the natural thing is, whenever a law is broken, then the flow of energy is not positive. So that's why Baba says, and Baba gives the example that, people go on pilgrimages, and they go for long pilgrimages, 2 3 months they go, and they don't take children on pilgrimages. They leave the children behind and then they go on pilgrimages. So this is also a pilgrimage of remembrance and knowledge. So why bring children and then disturb yourself and disturb the atmosphere? But Baba says, yes, if the children are a little, elder and they understand, and some children I have seen are very exceptional. So, I have seen in this journey, there are some children who are little, but they don't disturb at all. They just sit quietly. And they even, they don't cry, they don't disturb, and they sit quietly as if they are old souls. So, your child better. So, if if that's the case, maybe you can put in a request and just tell, because I remember there was this one mata, and she used to bring a very little child. He was what, 4 years of age, but that child used to sit absolutely quiet in the class. And even if he had to say something or do something, he would go out and then he would talk. He wouldn't disturb in the class. So there are some children who are very exceptional. So then you can always put in a request that, I guarantee that this child will behave according to the decorum and let me take them. But generally, it's not so. So this is the thing that Baba tells us. And then Baba tells us one very interesting thing about being a Karmyogi. Baba says that when you cook in the remembrance of Baba, then of course, there is the logic that Baba's remembrance purifies the food or fills the food with energy. But Baba also today says that the food will come out very well. So, the food will have a very good taste, or, the food will be prepared very well. And this is something which I have experienced. And I will tell you one incident. So, we make kadhi. So, kadhi is like you mix gram flour in curd, and then you whisk it, and then you add water, and then you boil it. So that is curry. And then you have to be very careful, because that can, that curd can get bad. So it can just, the water and curd can separate during that process. So once we had prepared curry for the Brahma Bhojan. So in the event when everybody accepts food after bhog is offered to Baba. So then what happened is that curry got a little curdled. Okay. So when that happened, I saw it, and then I just kept cooking it in Baba's remembrance. And then I told Baba, Baba, I will offer bhog to you, and I'm not discussing it with anybody, because it's, 30 liters of curry, and now I don't have the time to prepare it again. So I will just offer bhog to you, and you take care of everything. And, that day after bhog was offered, that curry came together. It was not curdled anymore. It's not about, it was curdled and still had a good taste or something. No, it was not curdled. And it was amazing to see that when I came back and I saw that, then all the curdling was gone, and it was, very properly, together, and there was no trace of what had happened in the middle. And that was something very magical that I experienced. And I only shared it in the class later. I never shared it with any individual there. So there were other matas also who were involved in the cooking, but I did not share or discuss it with anybody. Later, when I took class, I shared this incident, because I wanted it to be between me and Baba, because the one who has to take care should know. Why should anybody else know? So this is one incident. And then, whenever you eat bhog, you feel, that there are many children who say that we also make it. So there are many children, they come and they say, give me the recipe, Didi, this was very nicely made. So we will give them the recipe. What is a big deal about it? And then they will prepare it at home, and then they will say it didn't taste the same. And why? Because when you are cooking in Baba's remembrance and offering bhog, then it has a very distinct taste. And that Baba is also talking about today. So it's not just about cooking, it's about everything. So, whatever you do in Baba's remembrance will have a uniqueness which you cannot emulate through any other method. For example, when we give class also in Baba's remembrance, and I'm telling you, it's not that always you are in Baba's remembrance. Maybe sometime you're not in Baba's remembrance. And then also you give a class. And then that class is very different from when you are in Baba's remembrance. Because then Baba is making you, speak things which you are also learning and you are also feeling them. Otherwise, you're just emptying your stock. You're just talking from what you know. But when you are in Baba's remembrance, Baba fills that class with experience, and that experience you also feel, and the ones who take the class also feel. So, Baba says, do everything in Baba's remembrance. And today Baba also talks about this balance between being a guest and a great. So Baba says, always remember I'm a great soul and I'm a guest. So it's interesting that these two words rhyme in English also, and in Hindi it is mehman and mahan. So they rhyme in Hindi also and in English also. And in English, it is being great and being a guest. So Baba says, when you think that I'm a great soul, when you are in that awareness, then all the sanskars of you that are not so great, they are not able to pull you down from your greatness. And when you think you are a guest, then the attachments and attractions of this world are not able to pull your intellect. So, being a guest and being great. So, if you are in the awareness that I am a great soul and I'm a guest, then you will be able to stay detached and beyond while doing everything. And this will make you worthy of praise, because then every action you perform will be filled with greatness and the quality of detachment. And this is what makes every action praiseworthy. Okay, Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I would like to share about that food Baba's. When I cook food in Baba's remembrance, I have seen that all my relatives they eat normally 2 to 3 chapatis at their home, but when they come here, they demand twice everything. And they are habitual of eating onions and garlic also. But here they can't even imagine without preparing food out of that. But here they say we don't know why it tastes different here.
Yes.
Then I tell them that is Baba's remembrance.
Correct. That's true. Absolutely.
And while cooking, Didi, I practice to be Karmyogi in I am in awareness, not in bodiless state. While cooking, I look out of the window to the side. Then it reminds me of Paramdam.
Yes.
And and while looking at the souls, also I think that all Baba's children are in their act right now.
Yes.
And I have to give good wishes to everyone. This will count in Karmyogi, Didi.
Yes, this is Karmyogi stage. Yes.
Okay, Didi. Okay. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Okay. That's all. Let's thank Baba for some time. Yes, Achyuta, please. Yes.
Yeah. So, Om Shanti, Didi.
Om Shanti.
Today's Morally has a lot of interesting, emphasized many interesting points. Thank you. Particularly the soul consciousness is important. At the same time, we should pay awareness to the body also.
Correct.
Without that, no, we can't accomplish the things properly. That's a very great point.
Yes.
And also, I have a question about. So, in today's Morley, it also mentioned that one should practice to go from the soul to Paramdam. We should practice to go quickly. So that means, no, if we consider that body is a physical thing, the distance is not a matter, right? Because if you are going to do, if you are going to reach the Paramdam, it should not take that much time. Like, we are physically we are thinking that we have to cross many planets and everything to reach Paramdam. But actually, in reality, is it so?
No.
Because
No, it's not. So if you rephrase this question as how distant is Paramdham? So Paramdham is one thought away. Okay, it cannot be measured in distance because it's not a space; it's a dimension. It is beyond time and distance. So time, thought, and distance don't exist in Paramdham. So that's why Paramdham is one thought away. But for who? For a powerful soul. Yes, because the big issue is not to reach Paramdham. The bigger issue is to detach from here. And when you are in a powerful soul, you take 1 second to detach, and as soon as you detach, you find yourself in Paramdham.
that means it's a detaching.
Yes, it's the detaching that needs power. And that's why a powerful soul will be able to experience the experience of the soul world in a second. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle.